Hello everybody and welcome to Canada's World Cup in 2026. Episode 91 of the Pentagon Challenge is not really important to my ultimate goal, but I have found a job with the Ivory Coast national team and we are just about to kick off our World Cup campaign against Mexico, and unfortunately I haven't been able to find a club job that would be useful to winning another continental trophy. However, there is a vacancy that did earn my application, and that was Pumas over in Mexico. So I am competing with another manager for that position. However, I haven't heard back from the club. I doubt they've hired anybody. No, they haven't, which is very, very important. So their previous manager decided he was going to retire after 7 years at the helm. Really, really impressive. He managed to win the league 3 times with them, and he won 6 cups, which is crucial. So we'll just check that out now, see how in depth he went. So he won the 2019 Mexican Open in stage 1, the closing stage twice. Anything I noticed here, he's won the cup once, and then the Champions League, they've won it twice in very recent years, so that is why the job really caught my attention. You can see the Mexican clubs absolutely dominate the arena here. So this is a job that really is of my critical interest, and if we don't get the job, then it will certainly be a kick in the teeth, but we'll just have to try and wait for another position to appear. So if we can get that, that will be phenomenal, especially as the club are in a good position of strength. They're expected to finish well in their league, so that's why I want to get it while I can. So I can't wait to see which manager will be chosen for that. However, to keep myself amused, I did hint I would seek an international job, and even though the Ivory Coast share an almost identical flag to the Republic of Ireland, there is no coincidence here. I just wanted to pick a team that I think would be an outside bet, but nevertheless they are competitive in a global tournament. I felt Ivory Coast was the right mix. So our group here in Canada will be featuring, let me see, go down. So we have Mexico, Romania and Saudi Arabia. Now that is definitely a group we should be getting out of, considering Mexico are the best in the group. I don't expect to win, but if we do get the victory over them today, then we should be laughing really. But I can't deny Romania could be an outside shot as well. But Saudi Arabia, similar to how they were way back in 2002, I would expect them to bow out prematurely. But you never really know. It's going to be a tough group, as all 4 teams don't have much World Cup pedigree, but we'll be trying their best to change all that. So we'll see how we can do. I'm going to introduce the team I have for you now, but I won't spend too long. So you can see my tactics are either going to be the 4-1-2-3 DM wide or a 4-4-2 diamonds. It just depends what is needed at the time. So now we'll just head into the squad very quickly, starting from the top. The number 1 choice goalkeeper, he is pretty much the sole proprietor of the number 1 jersey. I can't see why he would be dropped even if he is at 33 years of age. He's won a lot of medals with FC Copenhagen, so I hope he has another great World Cup in him yet. Jonathan Tah, if you remember him from the FM14 Trophy Tour series, I had him inherited at Wolfsburg, and he was a really, really good player. Not as good as he is these days though, as his potential started to be realised, but I believe he has been capped by the Germany national team, so any future games with Ivory Coast will not be featuring the fantastic Jonathan Tah, which is a shame. Ibrahim Toure, he can play mostly on the left hand side for Brighton and Hove Albion, but he has some ability in the centre and up front. He's had a pretty poor season in the Sky Bet Championship, but I had no choice but to bring him up due to injuries in other positions. Pierre Zebli, he scored twice for me in the recent friendlies against Bosnia and Herzegovina, and he's had a great season in the Italian Serie B, but his team have not been promoted. I managed to get Eric Bailly out of international retirement, which is absolutely critical, as he is a star man in the Liga BBVA for Atletico Madrid. He seems to be pretty fit, but his form did decline drastically as the season came to an end. He was, taking names and kicking arse for the most part, and then it just evaporated. So he must be suffering from a bit of fatigue, but I'm confident he can have a good World Cup with me. Ousmane Bamba, he plays up front, and he's with Zamalek in Egypt, I think, and he has plenty of potential, but we don't really know how good he is, because the Egypt league is locked, and similarly the Tunisian league is locked, but he has plenty of goals to his name for a club, but not so much for country, I don't believe. I'll just double check that. Yeah, he's only scored twice for his country, which is pretty poor. From Maccabi Tel Aviv, we have Stefane Bamba, 21 years of age. He is a future star. I managed to pick him up through my own personal scouting rather than the assistant manager suggesting him to me. He scored 17 times in the Israeli Premier League in 26 appearances, so I hope to fit him in the squad somewhere. He could be a fantastic player. Next up is Ismail Boli. He's not a popular right back with the fans, and you can understand why with his league rating for Norrköping in Norway, but he played extremely well for me against Bosnia, so he has earned the right to play from the start here today. Next up, Johan Boli, another player that the fans don't like, but because we had injuries on the right wing position, I felt it was justified to call him up, and he played really well against Bosnia, but he won't be playing from the start today, which is a bit of a gamble, but I'm confident that it'll work out in the end. One of the interesting players here is Francois Cisse. He plays for Al Ahly in Egypt, and he's had a very good season so far, and he was man of the match against Bosnia, the game we won, so I'll be expecting him to play really well again today. Serge Koulibaly is the backup goalkeeper. He's not very good, so I just hope our main man doesn't get injured. SV Grodig in Austria are a decent enough team, but I don't know what to expect from him, as I haven't really given him his chance. Apu Depode is a big player. He plays in Switzerland for Basel, and he hasn't had a great season, but he is crucial as he can play on both the left and the right hand sides, and he has bags of good crossing and technique, so I hope he can lop them in for me. Hervé Deru, he plays for Dnipro, and he can mainly play in the midfield, but he has left and right back familiarity, so he could be a great all-rounder. Adama Diallo, he's going to Trabzonspor from who's that? Who is it? I don't remember. Is it? Sochaux, yeah, Sochaux. So he's moving to Turkey. He's had an okay season in defence, but he won't be starting ahead of Ta and Bali. Kofi Dumbia, he's a big player, but he has years ahead of him rather than the current potential. He played very well in Liga, but I don't have space for him in my squad at the minute. He is basically a defender that I need because a lot of the other guys have been injured. This is probably the star man in the squad, Asan Gnokori for Reading in England. He has been absolutely brilliant for them all season long, and he could potentially sort of push our chances all the way. I'm a bit tired, but he could definitely drag us all the way to the knockout stages, and I can't wait to see what he can do. Wilfried Cannon, backup left back. He's getting on a bit now, but I suggest playing him in one or two games mightn't go amiss. He's in Greece, so he has some experience. Eric Karamoko plays for Al Ahly as well. He's the starting left back, and he's pretty good according to the scouts. He could hang on in there as a limited fullback. Umar Keita, he plays on the right hand side, and he's with Fiorentina, so he is the starting right midfielder. He hasn't had a great season in Serie A, but we'll ignore that as he can cross the ball. He's got massive aggression and agility. He can lead the squad. He works really hard and stuff like that. Dramane Konate, he plays for Millwall, but unfortunately they've been relegated from the Premier League. He will be starting today, and he likes to play make, and you can see he makes excellent decisions. He's fantastically armed with good. He's fantastically technical. He's got a great first touch, and he can accelerate dramatically quickly as well. The third choice goalkeeper, I wouldn't have brought him if he wasn't young, to be honest. He needs this kind of experience, and he's only played one game from the start for Sochaux. And then Moussa Kone is the star striker. He scored 12 times in the Premier League, yet to score for me in my 2 friendlies, or my 3 friendlies actually. I played one before that. So I hope this is the tournament that the 23-year-old steals the spotlight for. And then that concludes the report, I think. Oh no, this is our right back, Joel Utaara. He can play centre back and right back. He's pretty good, but again, because he plays in the North Africa territory, I don't really know how good he is. And then that completes the 23-man squad. I had a few guys that I really wanted to call up based on how good they are, so we'll just show filters and see what we are missing out on. Let me see, all positions, all sides, there we go. So we missed out on this guy from Panathinaikos. He would have been brilliant. He has very solid stats, and he's at a great age. We missed out on this guy. He's injured, and Ali Diallo has also been injured. We've also lost this guy from Atalanta. He's just come back from a double hernia at this stage, and there are other guys as well that we could have picked, but it just didn't work out for them. Like this guy from Genk. I just didn't have space for him in the squad, but he could have been really, really good, but I just didn't feel he was in good enough form to come along. So that was probably the biggest miss. Did he get an injury or anything like that? Double hernia in April, yeah, so he couldn't really be picked either. So that's just the way it goes. International football is very, very tricky at the best of times, but most of these guys have a bright, bright future ahead of them, and I can't wait to see how they'll get on. But now let's see how we get on in our 3 World Cup games. I'll do condensed live comms of them, and we'll see if we can get into the last 16. So fingers crossed we can get the job done during the group stages. And of course Vasco, I'll tell you about them very quickly. They've sacked their manager very, very quickly. Only 150 days was all he had in the locker room. He lost 7 games, but they're all crucial ties, and the league is going dreadfully badly, as I can demonstrate. So they lost against River Plate in the sort of Super Cup, as it's known. The winners of the 2 trophies in South America get to play that game. So he lost that. He was doing really well in the Copa Libertadores, but it all came to a screeching halt after this defeat to Liga de Quito, another team that had been in the group stages with Vasco, and they had beaten them twice actually. So to have lost against them in the knockout rounds, especially at home, is unacceptable. Then he lost the Rio State Championship final, and then he'd never win another game in charge, as they slumped to bottom of the Brasileirão, and that is terrible for a team that has only recently lost the Copa Libertadores. We'll see how that's going now. So Santos, Palmeiras, Colo-Colo or River Plate will be the successors to Vasco's crown. So that's not going to be pleasant viewing, but I will not be going back to Brazil now that I have the South American trophy to my name. But I won't be going to Atletico Madrid either. I don't feel the need to go to Europe until the very end of the challenge. So now I can finally wrap it up and get to some live comms. Let's go. Now here we are, the World Cup, the greatest stage of them all, kicks off with Ivory Coast going left to right, and Mexico in their traditional green going right to left, and an early free kick is dealt with. Keita to Kone, he's beaten the defender now, he's bursting forward, like a long cross into the box. Depode tries to collect, only as far as Karamoto. Kanate has a chance, it's Ganokori, defeats a man and scores! It's only a minute gone! The star man has buried it for 1-0 to the Ivory Coast, the Côte d'Ivoire. In retrospect, we just need to avoid conceding here. Out to Pineda and Lozano. Aguirre, oh, we went for the far post shot and he wins the corner. 45 minutes played, clear, yes, come on, yeah, that'll do. It's a throw in, and the referee blows for half time. If we can win this game, then the World Cup is our oyster. So concentrate now. We're running out of time. It's in our half. To Boli. Now Keita. Zebeli. Bamba to potentially win it. No. Good save by Guidinho. And now be more disciplined. It's another chance from a corner. Alvarado to Torre. Keita back to an unmarked Torre. Zebeli. And it's in! It's Ibrahima Torre's first goal for his team. And this is an extraordinary performance against the number 1 seeded team in the group. Ivory Coast 2, Mexico 0. And it just means one more victory in the next 2 games will see us progress. And that came absolutely out of nowhere. But 2 goals, one in the very beginning of the game and one towards the end, has made the vital difference. What a performance. So we'll see you now for the Romania game. Well done, guys. Round of applause for you. Get in. Welcome to the second game week of the World Cup. Both these teams have won on the opening day, and therefore the winners will qualify for the last 16 automatically, who will best keep up the pressure and make their dreams come true for the time being. Early highlight for Ivory Coast here. Konate into Cisse's feet, and the young striker tries to make a turn. Doesn't work out. Here's Captain Gunogori, but it's dealt with by the Romanians. Now it's Cisse on the ascendancy again. Short to Depode. Brilliant save by Depodan for Romania. And now Kone can't get there for the corner. And we have another one for Keita to take, and Bali, who is the lead centre-back today, just goes wide. Here is Keita back to Boli, and returned. Gunokore, Cisse, Konate loses it. Cisse retrieves into Konate's feet, and once more with feeling, Gunokore, Depode, short and sweet. No, it's not working out. Keita, Gunokore, in the box, goes the box man! And he scores again! Yes! What a fantastic player we've got in our hands here. But maybe the Ivory Coast could double their lead here. Cisse could get to Gunokori. There he is, the captain has to go short. Yeah, all the way out to Karamoko. He's got no one in support. He has to go backwards to Depode. Konate, Kone, Gunokori to double Ivory Coast advantage. And I have never seen a midfielder just dominate a game quite like this. It has been a very long time. He is the general that is leading Ivory Coast to unprecedented territory. And we just cannot wait to see what we have now in the last 16. I didn't expect the result to be this good. Kone could put it all to bed now. Unfortunately not. It's a corner kick. We can't have them scoring. So we'll just stick to positions, be more disciplined. We don't have to do anything crazy. The strategy suits us, no problem. Kone getting inside, and still inside, but he should have scored in my opinion. That was a glorious opportunity when the Romanians failed to close him down, and Diallo heads it just wide of the post. And they are worthy winners here in the Scarborough Community Stadium in Ontario. So well done to the guys, and we'll move on swiftly to the Saudi Arabia game, which has very little bearings on the group destiny. And this rubber match between Saudi Arabia and Ivory Coast has begun, and basically a point is all we need to guarantee top spot and a tie against England. But Saudi Arabia won't want to go home on absolutely no points like they did in 2002. But an early foul conceded by the Arabians situation. But now it looks like Saudi Arabia are doing a satisfactory job here. It's Sadiq going for 1-0, and he hits the woodwork. Best chance of the game falling to the Middle Eastern country. Here's Bamba in the attack. Boli backwards, it goes to Ouattara. Back to Stefani Bamba, but he's lost the possession, and it gives the Saudi Arabians another chance to attack for them. Mine tries a through ball. Doumbia clears to one of our strikers. It didn't quite work out. Deru, lovely pass to Boli, and at the far post, it's that man Ibrahima Torre. 1-0 to Cote d'Ivoire. Very nice. Let's see what Saudi Arabia can do. And again, oh, so unlucky. They've hit the bar twice in a row. Doumbia to Torre. And he's charging forward, beats two defenders, goes for the low cross, and that is game, set and match. Pierre Zebli put in a masterclass against Bosnia-Herzegovina, and he scored again. And that just means we've scored 6 times without reply in this World Cup, and that makes us a team to fear in the last 16. But England will be desperate to beat us at all costs. They don't want another exit from an international tournament. But at last, Saudi Arabia have a goal to their name. Al-Dasari from distance. Romania have absolutely destroyed Mexico, and we just have to hold on and make sure we don't throw this tie away. Awauji has to go backwards to Al-Obaid, and he gets help from Sadiq and Al-Dasari, and that should be the ball for Rawatra. Doesn't work for Kone, and it does look like Saudi Arabia have something in the tank, but Torre goes route one and gives it away. But we just have to calm down. There are a few nervous heads. Saudi Arabia trying to spoil our dreams, but they shoot wide with the header, and they've played extraordinarily well for a team that hasn't a single point to their name, and they may just get that single point. But Bamba and Kone are working together to try and get the third goal that I would love to see to calm my brief nerves. Here is Shanrari, Amin to Al-Shanrari again, and that could be the opportunity cleared. They're still trying, in fairness to them, but we're running out of time for this game to turn on its head. From the left to the right, we have Al-Obaid, and that's offside from Ali Sadiq, and that should be the final action. Saudi Arabia 1, Ivory Coast 2. Now, this episode has gone on long enough, so I really don't want to take up too much of your time, but the news is confirmed. England versus Ivory Coast in the last 16 of the 2026 FIFA World Cup, and that will be live commed in full, so I'm sure that will gain interest from my British followers, particularly of course the English ones. We'll see if we can get payback for the Elephants, as of course the Three Lions knocked out the Ivory Coast this time 4 years ago. The date was the 26th of June 2022, and we will be playing the English on the 30th of June. So the opportunity is here for us to potentially knock out the 1966 World Cup winners. And if I can double check if they won anything, yes, they are the one-time European Championship winners, so they're not pushovers. But this World Cup has not gone all their own way, as the unlikely Ecuador have topped the group, thanks in part to this drubbing of England, 4-1. That is absolutely shocking. And then bit of deja vu from the Euro 2016. Russia got a draw out of them, so England wasted their chance to top the group after beating Australia on the opening day. So we have a good mixture of countries still in the tournament. We've got the Canadian hosts, the defending champions Portugal are here. We have Ecuador, Ghana to provide a bit of underdog story, and then Morocco as well. So Africa are doing a fantastic job here in North America. So that will conclude the episode, and make sure you tune in for Ivory Coast versus England in the last 16. I really want to see the an all-time classic in this episode as we head to London, Ontario. So a bit of a good omen for the English there. We'll see how it goes. Wish me luck, unless you're supporting the English. Bye for now.